Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily UPSC MCQ series. We are taking this Mission 2020 series and I hope this would work for you. And you see, today what we need, we have to leave all the past aside. You just pick all the learning from your mistakes. You can compare your issues and you can evaluate yourself that question by question what kind of mistake you have done in the past. And I have given all the analysis for these videos. Me and Dr. Mahipal sir, we both had done this analysis of the question paper. Maybe some discrepancies there in some answers, but we have to wait for that because we have given these answers according to our findings and all. So there may be some mistakes. We are very sorry for that, but things are not confirmed yet. So that is the case. So let's start the lesson and I hope for the best. Leave everything aside, start with a new energy. Always big battles and big issues, they are always fought with new energy. And if you are fighting this battle with some kind of depressive stage, some kind of low energy phase, then you will never be able to beat that, because you have to be stronger than your enemy, and this exam is something that you need to beat here. So let's start the lesson. And these are the numbers here you can call and you can ask for these pen drive courses. All are available at 60% off, and this website address is given here. And here it is the Facebook group where I upload all these PDFs and all, and these are also available on the StudyIQ's Telegram group, and my Telegram group's link is also given on the same group here. So you can find this group. I'm in the group for IAS preparation. Next, copper hoard culture. Describe fine complexes which occur in the southern part of India. You see, it is not the southern part of India, it is actually the northern part of India, and from the Doab region, the region between Ganga and Yamuna river, and from here it goes till the Punjab region. And this is a wrong statement. Second, the Doab hoards are associated with the so-called ochre colored pottery, and which appears to be closely associated with the late Harappan or post-urban phase. That is a correct one, because you see, pre-Harappan starts with the Chalcolithic age, and the main Harappan age is mainly the Bronze age. Okay, and first it used to be the Copper age, and then Bronze age, then comes the late Harappan phase, and here they found all these potteries and all, and ochre colored pottery was a very important one at that time. And this area I will show you in the map, this was important, and that was the mainly late Harappan phase, means around 2000 BCs and all, that was the time. And we call it post-urban phase also, because what is the thing that is very much specifically attached with the Indus phase, that is the urbanization. These streets, they were cutting them on the 90-degree angles, all the important drainage systems and all, and these are very much developed cities in Harappan civilization. So that's really a great thing of 5,000 years back time. Okay, so third, the second one is correct. Third one, ochre colored pottery culture was prevalent in pre-Harappan phase in Indo-Gangetic plains. You see, as I told you, ochre colored pottery culture was not in the pre-Harappan phase, it was the late Harappan phase or the post-urban phase, as we can call it. So this option is clearly wrong here. Only 2 is the correct option here. Copper hoard culture. Why? Because as I told you, the Chalcolithic age that predates to Indus Valley, means copper was found at first, then these gold, silver, and later around 1000 BCs they found the iron. Before that, there are no traces of iron in Indian subcontinent. So Chalcolithic age dates around 4000 to 3000 BCs. So when they discovered copper so early, then till the late Harappan phase for around 2000 years later, they became at a stage where they designed many utensils, many particular pots and all, and they were hoarded in every home, means they were a common useful items in every home. So that is why we found them in hoards. And in the pictures you can see here, all these important designs, structures, metallic issues, tools, they all are found, and they are made up of copper. You see, this is anthropomorph, means a design of some humanistic characteristic design. And this is a very famous one which was found in Rewari near Delhi. The Rewari is important city in Haryana, we all know that. So there it was found. Why this region? Because this is the Aravalli range, starting from northern Gujarat going up to Delhi. And this is the Shekhawati region where Jhunjhunu, Sikar, Churu districts are there. And in the Jhunjhunu district there is a place called Khetri. very famous one. Many times in geography it is asked. Here Hindustan Copper Limited, HCL, is the important PSU, and it is running its business. It's the biggest mining area for copper here. And this Ganeshwar Jodhpura, it's a civilization, and it is also found, it is near Jaipur city of Rajasthan, and here also this copper horticulture was found. So this was the main region from where copper was mined, and it was spread to all the surrounding areas. It reached up to this area also, wherein Ahar Banas culture, there also some copper hoards and all there, these were found, and they were found in northwest region, they were found in the western UP region in the east, and the Haryana region, Delhi region here. So these are the important areas where copper horticulture was found, and that was the reason because copper was mined in this region. So Khetri, Kolihan, these are important regions where copper mines are there. Okay, so these all were made up of the same copper, and it had some specific characteristics, and it was proved later when they found that these copper utensils and all, and these copper horticulture items, they are made up of same copper, and that is being mined from this Rajasthan's region. So in Aravalli range, that is a very old range, there the copper mines were there in that time also. Now about the ochre colored pottery. Ochre means this kind of color, like the brick color is there, and when these archaeologists and all, they used to dig these areas and beds and all, then their fingers, they got this ochre color. So that is why this was called at ochre colored pottery culture, OCP culture, in 2nd millennium BC, and that was the phase after the Harappan age. And Indo-Gangetic plain was the area where it was found. You can see in the picture, copper hoard is there. Cemetery H was the Harappan region and Harappan area. So this was the first one. Later, after 500, 600, 800 years, copper hoard culture that got developed, and later around 1000 BCs, the PGW culture got developed in the UP region, and you see the development that propagated towards the easterly direction. And you see after 400-500 years later, around 6600 BCs, there were 16 Janpadas, and that was the region of Bihar mainly. Magad region was the most important one. So that means that the development that went towards the eastern direction, and as we go towards east, we found more and more iron tools and items there. So that means iron was a later finding, and these painted grey wares were the latest one in this category. The red and black cultures, the red and black pottery, that predates this PGW, that started around 1200 BCs and all, and maybe 1500 BCs you may call it. And this PGW, that was the finding of around 1000 BCs. Dates are different in different sources, but this is a normal average of this these many sources. And you see, this is the region, this is the Punjab region, northern Rajasthan region, Haryana region, and there these copper hoard cultures were found. Okay, so that is the case. And you see, after 2nd millennium BC, around 400-500 years, that was a great gap, and nobody knows what happened in that particular gap. But after that, pre-Vedic culture started, and around 1500 BCs the Vedic culture started, and that went towards the mature phase around 1000 BCs, and then the end came up to 600, 500, 400 BCs. So it was regarding the Vedic culture, and the copper hoard culture and the Indus Valley culture, that predates the Vedic culture, as we all know that. Okay, so this is all, and very important, and many data are there, so they may be confusing, so please listen that carefully. If you miss something, then you can repeat the video here. Okay, so pottery had a red slip but gave off an ochre color. You see the color of this pottery. This used to be the cemetery H culture. The cemetery H means cemetery was found there, and it was in the H shape, and Harappa was the region where they call it the cemetery H culture. And ochre colored pottery, that was also found in some reddish color and some grey color also you can find here. So these were ochre colored pottery, and these were different areas. But this cemetery H culture, that predated this ochre colored. This particular one was earlier, and this was a later one. So that is the case here. And as I showed you the picture of these copper hoards and all, and anthropomorphic figures were there. This was the anthropomorphic figure. Okay, so I've told you a lot, and one more thing is left here. Ahar Banas culture near the Udaipur region, southern Rajasthan region. there this Ahar Banas culture was found. So that's very, very important. That is also asked, and that also contemporary or maybe predated to the Harappan culture. So Ahar Banas was also a very old system, around 5,000 years back from now. And Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture was a different one, found near the Jaipur city. Okay. Next, if we talk about the Iron Age, as I told you, it was relatable with the Vedic age. Black and red ware culture was there, and later PGW got developed around 1000 to 600 BCs. Okay, next, Hathi Gumpa inscription. You see, it was not Sena king, it was Kharwel king, because Hathi Gumpa dates back to around 2nd century BCs. So Sena king was later there in the same region of Bengal and Odisha, but Hathi Gumpa inscription related to Kharwel kingdom. Junagadh is the Kathiawad region of Gujarat. This is Kutch Peninsula, this is Kathiawad Peninsula. Here this Junagadh dynasty later got established, and Junagadh inscription is found here only. So it was relatable with the different kings, not the Kushana kings. Kushana kings were there in POK region of Kashmir and all, and there we found their evidences. Nanaghat inscription was relatable with the Satvahan king, perfectly correct. Panjar stone inscription was related with the Kushan king. That is correct. So 4 is correct, 3 is correct. So 3 and 4 is the answer here. And you see the picture of Hathi Gumpa on Udaygiri hills. These are found in Odisha near Bhubaneswar, and it actually faces straight towards the rock edicts of Ashoka at Dholi. So Dholi inscriptions are also very famous, and this is a different inscription that is called Hathi Gumpa inscription. You can see the important design here, and this is the inscription, and it was completed in a particular ancient Brahmi script, and we can call these alphabets as Kalinga alphabets, because Kaling was the same region, and there the Samrat Ashok also fought some battles, and later Kharwel kingdom got established. So Kharwel was the king in 2nd century BCE when this Hathi Gumpa inscription that was completed here. So that was a very, very important one, and it was the 13th year of the reign of Kharwel king. Okay, and he stayed there from 2nd century BCE to 1st century CE. So that was the kingdom we know all about. And about the Kushanas, you see, before Kushanas there came Pahalwas in the same region. It was the Afghanistan and Pakistan's northern region where they came. Then Shakas came here, and Shakas, Rudraraman and all, they were famous kings, and later the Kushanas, they came here. And there are many informations, but very limited knowledge we have of Kushanas. Many sources are there. Like which sources? They may ask you about the sources which tell about the Kushanas. Like in Puranas we know about them, Kalhan's Rajtarangini, a very important chronicle knowledge of Kashmir kings. So this is Rajtarangini written by Kalhana. So there also the mention of Kushanas we find. Ashwaghosh's Buddha Charit, there also we find some mention. Kumar Lata's Kalpana Mandika, there also we find some evidences of Kushanas. Nagarjun, he was a Buddhist important poet there. And Madhyamik Sutra, in Nagarjun's Madhyamik Sutra we find some evidences of Kushanas. So they are all the important sources, and apart from that, the most important source about the Kushanas were the coins that we call numismatic evidences. Okay, so coins tell a lot about Kushanas. They talk about their chronology, they talk about their religion, and there was some Roman influence in their these coins designs and all. So some indigenous designs were there, plus some Western influence was also there. So many things we know about Kushanas, but all these sources, whatever they tell, we have that limited knowledge only. Next, this Panchdarg inscription that tells about Kushanas, and this was the region. You can see this is Kashmir here, and here in this region, that is the northern Afghanistan, and this particular region, there mainly Kushanas got established. And this inscription, Panchdarg inscription, that mainly talks about Kushana king Kujula Kadphises. So that is the case. And you see, we have some knowledge that they were somewhat related to the western region of this region was the bacterial region. So from bacteria they may have come here, but Chinese sources also tell about it. They say that they are a part of a branch of Yuchi kingdom, and they conquered Bactria. Bactria was here, as I told you. and they say that they went towards south, towards India, and Kushan kingdom was a part of Yuchi kingdom only, which was there in Huangfu region of China. Next, Brahmanas. You see, we all know about that Brahmanas are the commentaries, especially. So wherever you see Brahmanas, you say these are commentaries. But Aranyaks are those books which talk about philosophical interpretation of it. So these are not Brahmanas actually, and they talk about rituals but not about the philosophical interpretation of the rituals. So that is the case. Every Veda has several Brahmanas. That is the right option. So second one is correct and first one is wrong. So only 2 is the answer here. You can see Brahmanas are collection of ancient Indian texts with the commentaries on the hymns of the 4 Vedas. So they are commenting on the hymns of the 4 Vedas. They are telling about that, and whatever rituals are given here, Brahmanas talk about that. And they are important part of Shruti literature. Shruti means we hear about something, that is Shruti. So mainly these were propagated with their mouth, and their next generations, they used to hear that. So it's a Shruti literature. And importantly, they talk about myths, legends, and explanation of Vedic rituals and all. But Aranyaks are more associated with the philosophy of these rituals. Brahmanas are commentaries on the hymns, and they talk about rituals only, not about the philosophy of the rituals. So that is the difference here. Brahmanas also lack a homogeneous structure across the different Vedas because they are attached with different Vedas, but they all are not in the similar fashion. And every Vedic Shakha, or which we call them schools, has their own Brahmanas, and a total of 19 Brahmanas are extant at least in their entirety. Means they are present in some form, but mostly they are lost. And they dated back to around 900 BCs, and they completed by around 700 BCs. So that is the case. And Shatpat Brahmana was an example. That was the youngest Brahmana according to some evidences. And Jangonda, a person says that final codification of the 4 Vedas, or these Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and early Upanishads, that took place in pre-Buddhist times around 600 BCs. After that, Buddhist time starts. And you see, these are important ones. With Rig Veda, 2 are associated, 2 Brahmanas. Yajur Veda, 6 Brahmanas. Sam Veda, 10 Brahmanas. And Athar Veda, only 1 Brahmana is attached with that. And as I told you, Shatpat Brahmana is a kind of example of it. A long list is there, so you can remember that. And most important ones, you please mention there in answers or in the options. Okay. Next, Aranyakas. As I told you, Aranyakas constitutes the philosophy behind rituals and ritual sacrifices which are mentioned in the Vedas there. So that is perfectly correct. Second, like Brahmanas, every Veda has many Aranyaks. No, this is wrong. There were many Brahmanas attached with these Vedas which were talking about the rituals, but Aranyakas were different and they were not attached with Vedas. They actually talking about the ritual philosophies. Next, Aranyakas go into the meaning of the secret rituals. Aranyak means forest. In Sanskrit, the meaning of Aranyak is forest. So these are also called forest books, and they are always dealing with the esoteric issues, means things which are not known much, and some metaphysical issues, some abstract issues. And these are secret rituals, not detailed in the Brahmanas. That is correct. So 1 and 3, they both would be correct here. And here you see forest books, esoteric books, and things that matter in the world are just illusions, they say that. And more concerned for humankind's and nature within the universe, so they talk about universe and all. And they say that do not chase or yearn for the things in the world. These are all momentary and they all will vanish with the time. So in some way this is correct. So it is all irrespective of the time. If you enjoy the time, then time will pass very fast, and if you do not enjoy the time, then it goes very slow. So it all depends on your time, but life ends always. So that is why these philosophies always remain relevant here. So Aranyakas talk about philosophies, and other parts of the Vedas other than Aranyakas, because these are also attached with Vedas only. So other are Samhitas, which are benedictions or the hymns, and Brahmanas, which are talking about commentaries, as I told you. Upanishads, which talk about spirituality and the abstract philosophy, and that is why we call Upanishads as Vedangas. Means Vedant means end of the Vedas, and they talk about abstract philosophy. So they talk about abstract philosophy of the Vedas, and Aranyaks talks about the philosophy of the ritual sacrifices. So that is the case. Okay, Aranyakas tell you that whatever rituals you are following according to the Vedas, what is the philosophy behind that, why we are doing that. So the main logic Aranyakas are telling you. So UPSC may ask you many deep meanings here, and some things may come as a single option there. there is no absolute distinction. Although we may call some differences, but there is no absolute distinction between Aranyakas and Upanishads. Sometimes some things overlap there. Some Upanishads are incorporated in a few Aranyakas also, and Aranyaka along with Brahmanas represent the emerging traditions in early Vedic religious practices. So that is the case here. Next question about the monkeypox. Monkeys are the only reservoirs. No, this is wrong. Some rodents like the Gambian rats and all, they are also the reservoirs. Some other animals may also be reservoirs. So it is not like that only monkeys are the reservoirs here. So it's a monkeypox virus, but this statement is wrong. Second, it spreads from monkeys bites to humans. No, it is not the case. It may be spread from human to human with some bodily fluids and all, and it may be spread from eating bushmeat or touching the bushmeat which is infected one. Bushmeats like the meat of some other animals like snakes or some rats or something like that. And humans to humans spread is not known till now. This is also wrong, because some cases really were found in Africa and in Central and Western Africa where some outbreaks were there. So in the 1970s mainly these were found, and these were also found in 2003 in Americas also. So human to human spread is also known, and 10% is the fatality rate. But you see, these are very rare cases. So all three are wrong ones. D9 is the answer here. You can see. And the disease can appear similar to chickenpox. You can see these lesions and these blisters, and they are very much disturbing in a sense. There used to be a disease called smallpox. That is fortunately is eradicated from the world in 1980s only. And now this is the monkeypox. And again they may ask you, is it a vaccine preventable disease? So the vaccine which used to be there for the smallpox, and that may be helpful here, and one medicine as Cidofovir may be helpful in a treatment, but it's a viral disease, so there are very less medications available for viral diseases. Okay, so these are important symptoms here, and monkeypox virus occur in certain animals including humans also. Okay, but first it was found in some monkeys, so that is why we call it monkeypox. And reservoirs, you can see monkeys and Gambian pouched rats, which are very big rats, and dormices and African squirrels. So there it can be there as reservoirs, and reservoir means these viruses are normally found in their bodies. And smallpox vaccine is believed to be prevent infection. Found in Central and Western Africa, and in 1951 among the laboratory monkeys this was mainly found. And after that 1970 Democratic Republic of Congo was the country where first case in humans were found. Okay, so all these all these important facts will be very, very important here. Next, about the One Dhan scheme, I have given you all the details regarding that, and the answers and all the details are given here. You see, it is the scheme of 2018, and which is not relevant, but you see, now with the experience of 2 years, we know that UPSC has been asking around 2 years current affairs. So some important schemes we will keep revising, and they may be asked in some form, because this is a very important one. And with the One Dhan, Jan Dhan scheme was also launched, and Gobardhan scheme was also launched. So these trio was launched, and that was regarding mainly the tribal. So Ministry of Tribal Affairs and tri-fed bodies are associated here, and in April 18 this was launched. So these details are given here. You will get the PDF on the Facebook group and on the Telegram group here. So some scheduling issues, and I'm ending the lesson here. Thanks a lot. Keep watching, and it was Amit Sani, and please keep telling me how you like these lessons, and are these lessons helpful or not. And if you like them, please share them, so that these can be continued always, because this is your popular complaint that these are never continued. So please keep watching them on a daily basis, and please spread them. Thanks a lot. Keep